There's a lot more to do with the sequel. You can branch out more, have more set pieces, and hire bigger names to be in your movie. Thankfully, this movie isn't just a retread of part 1. The Terror Within 2. Ooh. There's a lot more going on in this movie than the first. Thankfully, it is all pretty well balanced. Welcome to day 4 of my Scare Show 3, titled Brash Bodies. Let us begin. The plot. David, played by Andrew Stevens yet again, is still on the journey to the next base that he made contact with in the last movie. Linda has died in between movies. He encounters a brother and a sister, and when the brother dies, he promises to protect the sister. Ariel, played by Claire Hoke. And of course that means loving relationship time. Meanwhile, at the base, people are dying left and right from a radioactive disease. And it's up to David to get there in time, with the needed antidote he has made by gathering all the required natural ingredients. However, there's a clan of people living in a cave that want Ariel as a sacrifice. Who can survive in this world gone mad? With sacrificial clans, a bunch of Lucis, not gargoyles anymore, running around. Funny thing is, Lucis doesn't even mean freak of nature like it is described as. It actually means game or sports in Old English. Anyway, this movie is definitely a step up from part 1, but not by much. That sacrificial clan didn't even really need to be in the movie whatsoever. It was in there to pad out the runtime. The rape scene could have happened without it. Yeah, there's a rape scene in this movie, not too shocking, but if you're young enough, it will stick with and scar you for life. The cast is actually great in this movie. Arlie Ermy from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake and its prequel, as well as Full Metal Jacket. Renee Jones from Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, who played Sissy in that movie. Chick Venera, who I swear was Paul D'Angelo from Sleepaway Camp. You know, the short shorts counselor. Andrew Stevens, who's also the director this time around. And Stella Stevens, who is actually Andrew's mother in real life. Burton Gilman, who played DeWitt, was definitely the most likable character in the movie. He's just the funny, kind old janitor. Barbara Allen Woods, who plays Sharon, is the most unlikable character. She does somewhat redeem herself near the end, though. They even got the same dog that played Butch in the first movie to be in this movie. I thought that was awesome. The film has a very apocalyptic feel to it, even more so than the first. The scenes outside in the desert really add to that aspect. All of the set pieces are much higher quality, too. They really make the film feel bigger. The gore. This film was made around the time that MPAA ratings gave a reason. This movie contains strong violence and gore. I think I saw the uncut version, however it is not terribly gruesome. I still think the first one is gorier. The effects on the creatures aren't all that great. This time we get 2 creatures, a Lucis and a human Lucis hybrid. The Lucis are sort of kept in the shadows, for the most part. The human Lucis hybrid, however, is seen much more clearly, and it sort of reminded me of Pretorius in From Beyond, just with a really big bulge sticking out of his head. Ooh. The musical score. I liked the music in this movie. It felt more cinematic than the first. Is it better than the original? In most ways, yes. In some ways, no. I wish it was gorier and the scenes involving the sacrificial clan were just there for padding out the runtime. And it is terribly noticeable. But I won't say that it wasn't entertaining. The acting and characters are likable and even distinguishable. In my opinion, it's only slightly better than the first, which is an amazing achievement when it comes to Roger Corman movies. The only sequel that is better than the original in his filmography that I can remember is Carnosaur 2. Overall, I give The Terror Within 2 a 3.5 out of 5. If it was gorier and had more character development, then yeah, I'd give it a 4 out of 5. I'm Brian Gatto, host of Horror Show Movie Reviews. Make sure to like my Facebook page in the description below and leave comments and subscribe.